Welcome back everyone. In this video series we're going to carry on building together an MCP server for managing tasks. So we're going to use our MCP server to basically improve itself. Now I'm going to create a new ticket. So my MCP server that basically is in an alpha stage in GitHub. You can go to GitHub, download it yourself and run it on your local machine. It basically contains two different npms that you need to install and then run. One is for the MCP and one is for the UI. You will need to run Docker Compose for the Postgres as well, because the backend database for the MCP itself is Postgres. Now the MCP itself basically has multiple tools to create tasks, update tasks. You can list those tasks and create projects and all that stuff. So if you're interested more how it works, please feel free to read documentation, see some of the previous videos and anything else. But in this video we are going to focus on a specific component, which is creating first a task to analyze the code and merge a couple of different forms into one. So what we've got here is now a UI, we've got components, we've got forms in here, then we've got another form in here which is called the task view. Now the task view form, I'll show you in a second how it looks. So I'm going to cd to UI and npm run dev. Let's just open it up. Right, I'm just going to move it off. We open it up, but as well we need to npm run our MCP server. So I'm going to cd to my MCP location, which is over here, and then I'm going to say again npm run dev. And that created a server for us, and you can see there's a lot of, okay, we closed that connections. I probably need to fix that, but never mind. We've got one tool connected at the moment. I'm just going to refresh that, and that created another tool connection. So this means that both our windsurf in here is connected to that MCP, as well as our UI that you can see here is connected as well. Now let's look at what I would like to change in there. So I'm going to go to task boards, task management. So as you can see over here, we've got our projects. I'm going to select my project now. Project flows basically is the same name as our project flow project or repository. Now when I click on any individual task, I can see nice markdown of what that task is. So you can see each individual block of that task, so you can see the description and everything else. Now the task doesn't matter here because it's completed, but what I want to do is that when I click on edit in here on the project, I want to see the same overview of that project. So I want to make sure that this form in here, the task view, is working as well for the project when I click on the project. So before I edit, I want to see it nicely formatted. Now, so to do that, rather than going straight away to my Claude Code, as I use Claude Code for execution of most of my tasks, I want to use WinServe and specifically maybe GPT-5 or any other model to investigate what needs to be done and to create the task that later will be executed by Claude Code. So for now, right, I'm going to look at GPT-5, high, low, medium. I've used the low for a lot of stuff. Medium reasoning, well, it's for free, so it's a kind of some sort of promotion. Well, it's free, why not use that instead of burning your credits on Claude Code? So what I want to do is say, create the task to investigate, or no, I think I'm starting wrong. Right. I want you to investigate the code base and see how the task view form is working. Ideally, I would like this form to be able to work for both viewing tasks as well as viewing the project information as it currently does with the task. Please can you do in-depth investigation if one is possible, and can you as well plan on how to execute this task. Do not execute, just plan. At the end of it, you will create the task using create. Okay, I think we run out of time with my mumbling. Create. You will create task using create task MCP tool. So I'm still, as this is still alpha, I still have to make sure that I mention a lot of stuff because the prompts need improvement. To safeguard myself, I always am very explicit at the end. And then WinServe got a tendency as well to basically start execution and adjusting on the files if you're not specifying things like that. Okay, so we've got a lot of task view, task form, It's actually analyzing all those forms, which is quite good, because ideally at the end, I would like to reduce the amount of forms, and as the backend seems to be very much the same for all of it, why not just have less maintenance and more dynamic forms? The only caveat is with that is that LLMs tend to, or the agents seems to be not very good at, managing dynamic code. They tend to do a lot of hard coding stuff. Okay, so we're planning, analyzing task. It's actually quite fast. I have to say that, GPT-5 is amazingly fast. Right. There's probably a lot of other things that I would like to change within the edit form. And again, see if I can combine the two, because semantically on the back, it kind of makes sense. Let's have a look, go back and see generating stuff. Right, so the medium thinking is taking a lot longer than the small one, although nice, and listen very well. Okay. Hopefully it created the task. Okay, so I've got Alright, now I need to be careful not to for the winter not to go ahead and start implementing something, because this is not my aim. Okay, so the investigation completed, status is there. Actually, GPT-5 is performing a lot better than some other models that I've used to create the task. Some of them are not really good even at using the tools, so it's really kudos to GPT-5. It's really good at, utilizing the tools. Brilliant. But now let's look at our task. So our task was created. Let's have a look at how it looks. It actually captured it very, very well, and even the things that I didn't mention, it is really, captured very well in the description. So that the prompt seemed to be working well. Obviously, it will need, some extra, improvements, and then again, the project is open source, so feel free to go to GitHub, and see for yourself and improve, work with it if you've got time to look at it, work with it, and give me any feedback, any improvements you would like to see, or improvements to the prompts is always welcome. Okay, let's carry on here. Okay, so we've got parent ID, parent type, that's fine, that's amazing. Okay, this seems like a bit of a overflow issue in here. I wonder what it is. That is another thing that probably will need to be fixed. So I don't know if it's a line of code, maybe that's why it's doing it. Right. So at the moment that seems to be fine assumption. Yes. It seems like it's got quite good plan here, quite solid plan. Right, so what do we have here? We have, right, I am going to go back to Claude Code and I will say get, I've got fresh instance of Claude Code, as you can see. I will say to Claude Code basically to get task 101. Right, let's do it. Okay, so it got it into Right, so we ask it to get task 101. We can now ask it to implement it, but so get. I will load the, the project context as well. So at the moment we do it manually. Ideally, in the future, we want to basically append it together. So when you want to get the task, or if we get to the stage where we've got separate tool to execute, that would entail the project prompt, so it understands everything before it gets the task. But in here, I'm going to say get project because I know the parent ID in here. I'm just going to say 83, and that project is supposed to be project flows. And as you can see, we've got the project. Yeah. There we go. Got our project flow loaded. So now we've got the context of the project. So if you look at here, everything that is described in here, that should help Claude Code understand, what we need to do. Now I can say implement. well, before I said that, I will actually go and manually create new branch. I said task 101. I'm going to say implement task 101. And update all list items as you execute it using list item as you execute it. I mean, right, let's go. Let's see what it's going to do. So we've got new branch created manually. Right, now we've got project to implement. Let's have a look how to implement. It actually took a lot of the same task as we've got on our form and, you know, reduced it. The Claude Code reduced it a little bit. Okay, seems like it's got a lot of sense. Now, you might be thinking like, what is the point to even do that? You know, oh, what did I do? Okay. Well, that carries on. I think it's doing its stuff. You might be, sorry there. You might be thinking, what is the point of even doing that? I mean, in kind of my opinion, you know, the Claude Code is really good at a lot of stuff, but sometimes the CLI is not the easiest to work, and you know, you've got also other good models that are cheap and other licenses that are cheap that you can, you know, utilize across. I mean, I use Claude Code a lot. I use Claude Desktop a lot, and I mentioned that in other videos that, you know, Claude Desktop sometimes is good, you know, about researching stuff pre-creation of the ticket. I mean, if you want to go deep into, you know, looking at the web, how to implement something and then get all those information and put it into, you know, individual ticket, then you can still do that in Claude Code on Claude Desktop or any other tool. You know, you can see in here, if I want to investigate the code base prior to execution, you know, it's easy to do it with something like Windsurf and then create a ticket. So sometimes my workflow would even go Claude Desktop to, you know, to get the idea, you know, what I want to do. Then I would go through the research phase of the code base, making sure that you nail down all the files that needs to be touched, and then you've got the ability to select, you know, the model you want for that. And then what's left for Claude Code is to basically just execute the task and, you know, update the ticket. And I found sometimes it works, you know, really, really well. Right, so So let's have a look actually at the files that we're creating. So we've got entity view, and we've got views, project view, and we've got tasks. Right, nice. So we've got task, and then we've got forms, and then we've got views. So we've got another. Right. This is sometimes really annoying about AI, that, you know, for the forms, we've got forms here, and then we've got another folder with task, and then we've got another folder with the views. I mean, let alone we've got another template form. So now I like things to be dynamic and try to utilize the same components as much as I can. I know sometimes it might be overcomplicated, but then on the long run it should be less code, less maintenance. Right, so what do we have here? Okay, so let's have a look. Perfect. Okay, list properties. So I got entity view, that makes sense, and the project view. Task list. Okay, now, right, so okay, now let's see if we can make it work. So it looks like it kind of new wrapper connect to for. Okay, so I would like to see, right, I would like to see the project view form to open when I click on the project button in the sidebar menu. Edit next to project name. Right, I think I missed that from the initial task, but let's have a look if we can implement that. Okay. No, it's not working. It's still showing the old one. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Right, nice. Nice, it's working. That's really good. So now we can see the structure, architecture, and it's in the right order as well, I believe. Okay, yeah. No, it's coming along nice. I think we need to make sure the code blocks and the blocks it's in here are working fine. Cool, and now I can edit that. Right, the edit works fine as well. We need to fix the edit, but oh, right. Okay, I like it. I like it. No, I mean, it's still working. It's still testing on our side. So Claude Code is still working away, making sure the tests are done. Right. I kind of almost want to move the task view into the views, almost into the forms, entity view, project view. Right, let's have a look how different these two are now. It's like a project, but we do not have the parent ID. Everything else is basically the same. Right. Okay. Let's actually ask some questions about the implementation, which I'm pretty sure they were explained, but let me do it anyway. Okay. Actually, to save the credits, right, move to backlog anyway. Project flows. Right. We've got documentation outstanding. Everything else is actually completed. Well, that's brilliant. It kind of listens again. I'm sure it probably needs some improvement, but you know, for now, I take it the way it is. Probably the small adjustment is our new form, entity form, utilized by both And let's have a quick question here to confirm. And now once that is confirmed, I will just ask Claude Code to move the right. Can you move to the view folder making sure all files imported from the new location. Imported, reference it. Right, so that seems okay. Right, so this is working fine. This is working fine as well. Right, I delete this. Right. Right, again, documentation. Right. There is one outstanding item to complete on task. Okay, right, it's getting tasks again, and I'll look on the board. Now, this is really looking promising now. Although there's still a lot of work before this thing gets even into beta. You know, I'm still quite happy with the progress so far. put it into doing. Okay. So we've got architecture. Okay, final item, documentation is complete. And it even summarized it, that's really nice. So additional bonus. It's great. Right, it's in doing, it's updated. We can consider it complete. So although we still have multiple forms, view forms, that's fine, I can kind of take it. So project form, project edit form, and the task form. Now, the next thing we want to do is make sure that the edit form, again, in project works the same as edit form in tasks. But let's keep it for another video.